The Japanese artist Yuko Mohri's exhibition at White Rainbow is titled Moré Moré, Leaky and follows her recent exhibition in Taiwan, Japan and the USA. Winner of the 2015 Grand Prix Nissan Award, Moré undertook 2 residencies in London in 2016. First at the Victorian Albert Museum and then at the Camden Arts Centre. Yuko Mohri studied media art with sound art, which she prefers to call music without musicians, at the University of Tokyo, and has collaborated with leading Japanese avant-garde musicians Yoshihide Otomo and Ryuichi Sakamoto. Through sensing hidden energy, usually ignored, Mohri's work brings together image, sound and narrative, and asks how nature and unnature could have a relationship. Thank you very much, Yuko Mohri, for meeting us, Studio International, here at your exhibition at White Rainbow. Can you tell us about this work and what inspired you to make it, and how did you come to build your work?
Yeah, this piece actually, I got this idea from the photograph, which is, I did a field work about so many water leaky situations at the metro of Tokyo. And we have so many water leaky places in the metro basement.
In the subway, in the underground?
Subway. Because of the earthquake or the groundwater, it's changing a lot. And so many metro has leaky situation. And so employee try to recover somehow using the plastic items like a pet bottle, hose, or like a sheet. And then that is like looks like a sculpture for me. And then I started to collecting the photograph of the situation from 2009. And then until 2015, I got over 10,000 variations. Right. And then I wanted to use that idea to my installation. And this is like kind of the development from the research. And then so in this time, and in 2015, I did some experimental with audience, visitors. They are not artists, but at first I provided the water leaky situation for them in the museum. Yes. And I provided so many plastic items like umbrella, hose, plastic bottles. And I asked them to recover somehow using the items. And after 2 hours, they did such a great installation.
Did you begin your work before the earthquake happened?
Actually, I collected the photograph from the before earthquake, but after earthquake, I especially really wanted to use this idea to my installation. This is improvisation. I did no drawing, no sketches, no like a...
So when you make a work, can you explain what your process is? Do you first of all take a photograph of something that inspires you?
Yeah, I'm an artist using the everyday object in my installation. But in this project, I started from photograph. And then to make an installation, my mission is how to bring that phenomena to the art piece. And then this is my idea to make a frame, like a Duchamp's large glass, and it provided the water leaky station to me, and to try to make a sculpture and improvisation.
Tell me about the objects that you have in this sculpture, in this installation. Are each of the objects things that you found in Tokyo or?
I brought some items from Tokyo, but mostly from London. Oh. Yeah, my most important thing is collecting objects all the time. Right. That is like a very important process for me. I'm collecting the object whatever I want without thinking. If I feel I need, I just collect it. Then I have so many items in my storage, and then starting to think about what can I do. And this time I also brought some items, but I went to so many shops around here, and I'm collecting items randomly. And then to think about how to make in the circulation system with the items. It's like a very simple process, but
And there's a sound which is very important. I understand that you work with sound. And can you tell me who are the people that inspire you in terms of sound?
Yeah, as an instruction you tell about the Otomo Yoshihide as one of the famous improviser based in Tokyo. And then I had a collaboration with him. And then I'm not a musician, but they are kind of playing music without thinking. I mean, they are thinking actually, but they are not without note, without score. And they decided that what they play depends on the space, audience, or collaborator, and then they are kind of doing the play. I really like that concept, and then I really wanted to use that way to my art. And then so why I prefer the improvisation, and it's like a very, how to say, exciting, because even my creation, this is my creation, but it's, how to say, give to me so many happenings, for example, accident, or like, how to say, noticed from the installation.
So when you make it, accidents or surprises happen?
Yeah.
The materials do things that you didn't expect?
Yeah.
Is that,
Yeah, that's I think, and so that is really most exciting time. And it's like I responded from that, happening. It's like kind of, the catchable.
Yes, that's very
with
nice.
my art piece. It's like it actually happened in the improviser did in the play,
Yes, when you improvise in a play.
Yeah.
And then things happen that you couldn't anticipate.
Yeah.
And so tell us what has happened in this work that you didn't anticipate. Can you show us some things that you weren't expecting?
Yeah. Now we are kind of can see they're completely like how to say, very calm circulation system. But at first, of course, it's wet, very wet, and sometimes I kind of have a shower from the object, and then why this reason that's happening. And for example, that wheels now turning sometime.
Yes.
But it's really kind of, they are sometimes turning all the time or didn't turn in yet. And then actually the position of the force is very important. And then I kind of did so many experiments way. And also I tried so many trays for the spoon. Yes. And then this size is perfect. Even smaller one or bigger one, it's not working for this.
Right.
The bigger one, it's like a kind of spread out. Yeah. And the smaller one, it's like a full up. And then this size is very important for this circulation system. And
this little spoon, which looks to me like something from a kitchen that you measure food from.
Yeah.
And before it was coming up against that pipe and making a lovely bell noise.
Yeah.
But why isn't it doing that now?
Now I put some timer.
Oh, you put it on a timer?
Yeah, okay. It's working on the randomly, and sometime on, sometime off. Because every time they're running all the time, it's kind of, this rhythm. Here. I like this sound. It's like kind of, they're without pumping, and that's why I put some timer.
I also read that you for some time before you became a full-time artist, you worked part-time as a carpenter.
Yes.
Do you use those skills now in your work? Is that useful?
Yes, very much. I mean, I do so many part-time jobs. I also serve in the express train or whatever. I do so many jobs. And after the graduate at university, I wanted to change my, job, really. I did it like an assistant for the professor. But after that, I wanted to discover so many, inspiration in the city. And then I changed so many jobs. And then I got so many skills and so many experiments. experience, and then so that inspiration actually really affected to me. And then I believe the, you know, the way I travel in, for example, in UK or in other cities, I trying to get some, you know, so many ideas from the city. That is also the one of the, like, cities, you know, from Tokyo. But I have some another theme to the another for the inspiration.
Another theme?
Yeah.
And what is that theme?
Well, another series, when I work in the city, when I saw some swinging somehow by wind, by vibration, or by car, I really curious about why it's moving.
Why things are moving, why things are floating.
Yeah, floating. Yeah. And then so I started to take video of that one. Even rubbish, even like, you know, the things that people doesn't notice. I really curious about why it's moving by situation. And that is like a very important thing for me because, how to say, I use everyday object and the machine. It's everything artificial. But I really curious about organic ecosystem. And then when I visited the botanical garden or aquarium, they are actually artificial, right? That you are collecting
they're artificial.
Artificial situation. I mean, you're collecting the trees, flowers over the wall, and to make in a garden in British. It's like a different weather, different situation, but they designed how to make an ecosystem in here. And I did it like that concept, and then I wanted to use that way in my installation. For example, I collecting the everyday object and the machines and making a circulation system. It's like an artificial ecosystem. Right. It's making another organic, you know, situation, and I believe it looks like a unique. I mean, it looks like not too much mechanical because it's like I wanted to involve so many phenomena, like also element. It's used to be here, like a gravity or the water. Water is very interesting. It's when I control this installation, there has weight and pressure. It makes me so many inspiration. You know how to make in a circulation. It's very difficult. You know.
So it's interesting. You're operating with hidden energies of different kinds, and also you have a series of hidden narratives as well in your work. You know, the stories of the station managers trying to stop the leaks and things. So can you tell me, when you were doing a residency, when you were doing both your residencies at the Victoria and Albert Museum and the Camden Arts Centre, during your time in London, did you collect objects?
Yes.
And did you find anything that was interesting did you tune into a hidden energy in London that is interesting? Can you tell us about it?
I'm not sure it's hidden energy, but I'm really curious about, you know, the view of the London. And then I was lucky because before my solo show, I had the opportunity to see this city before and to go to so many, you know, items, and also to go so many inspiration from the city. The one thing I interested about, of course, the Leaky situation in London. Then you have another way for Leaky, and then I saw so many cushions in the Victoria line, and so that cushion actually has so many jellies inside.
Sand? You mean bags of sand or no?
Jelly.
Jelly?
Yeah,
oh, is it?
It's like a pet sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually that sandbag. It's that the pillow has so many jelly inside, and it's kind of vacuum the water, and then that shelf is like a completely snakes.
Like a snake, which absorbs the water. Yes.
Or eels, and it's lying the floor a lot. Right. That's really particular in London. It's kind of I have to get that pillow for my next project.
Yes.
Yeah. And I really love the public waste basket.
Yes.
It's just a hole and a plastic bag.
Yes.
Moving by a metal,
yes.
the train. with rubbish.
So there's a hidden story for that too, which is that so many people some years ago would put bombs in the waste paper baskets. So now they have to be transparent. You have to be able to see what's in there.
That's why, interesting.
So I read somewhere in an interview that you gave in Art Review Asia that the Ainu people and their philosophy was sensing through sound is something that you find very interesting. Because you were born and brought up in the area of Japan where Hakusai did his wave, am I right? And
Hokkaido?
Hokkaido, I'm sorry, yes.
I mean, I'm grown up the main island, but I got the opportunity to show my piece in Hokkaido Island, North Island, which is North Island of Japan. And they have tribe, the Ainu. It's about 150 years ago, the Japanese government developed into the North Island, and they have to move. The Ainu people have to move to outside from central area. But anyway, they have such a great original word language, and then I got a chance to.
They have an original language.
Yeah.
What is the language called?
Ainu language, maybe. Okay. Yeah, but I got a chance to see the dictionary about the Ainu language. It's very inspiring for me. I mean, I'm interested about, I don't know, I can't explain about now, but I'm interested about the relationship with circle and water. Circle.
What is circle?
Circles.
Circles and water.
Water and the sound.
Circles, water and sound. Okay.
The Ainu people has this really similar word between these three words. Because I imagine about the Ainu people living around the pond. You know, they are fishing a lot.
Yes.
The salmon. And then they are listening to sound in the pond. That when drop the water, it's making a resonance, you know.
Yes.
It's actually circle.
Ripples. Yes.
Yeah, ripples.
Yeah.
And then when this visual were happening, it's making a sound too, like a wang, 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 wang. That's why I imagine, this is my imagination, but it's, that's why they have like a very similar language between these three words, circle and resonance, sound resonance, and water.
Yes.
And then I'm really curious about this relationship, and then to make an installation too.
So, does this come into this installation, or is that another piece of work?
Another piece.
It's another piece of work.
Yes.
Are you working on that now, or?
Yes, maybe I will do again if I got some, you know, situation. Normally, I visited the venue. Firstly, I visited venue and think about what can I do with that space.
With the venue, yes.
Yeah. And then if I got a chance to fit with that theme, I can do again.
Right. And what is? Can you tell me what is the next piece of work that you're doing, or the next place you're going after this?
Actually, I'm going to Sapporo again this summer.
You're going to where?
Sapporo. I know Sapporo, North Island.
Okay.
Again, they have art festival, Biennale, every 2 years. And then I'm going to there again. And next time I'm using the long corridor, like a 150-meter corridor to make my installation. I'm going to use sonic speed in the space.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.